Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create two very different blue eyeshadow looks using the Colourpop Fade into Hue palette. So first of all, I'll be showing you how to create this dark blue smoky eye, followed by this light blue glitter eyeshadow look. So if you're interested in seeing how I created both of these looks, then stick around. So as you can tell, my base is all done, and I'm going to be starting off first of all on this eye with like that smoky blue eye look. And the first shade I'm going to be using is shade Iconic, which is this really bright royal blue matte shade. For that I have got an angled brush just so I can go in first and kind of get my shape for my eyeshadow look. Just got loads loaded onto the brush there, and then the reason I've just gone in with this angled brush first of all is just so I can get quite good precision of the actual basic shape of the eyeshadow. So just starting off with this almost like a V on the outer part of your eye, because obviously want the outer part of the look to be darker, and then just getting lighter and more shimmery as I move in towards the inner corner of my eye. So now I'm happy with that as the actual shape for the eyeshadow. I'm taking this slightly bigger brush and just going back into shade Iconic, and then I'm just going to buff out this edge and also fill in quite a bit of this gap. So just lay this down, buff out those edges so they are nice and soft. I mean, you could just start by doing this first of all, but I just felt that getting that initial shape down would help with the overall look, or at least make it a bit easier to do. Next, just to help with the transition in the middle of the eye, I'm going to be taking a little bit of shade Take It Easel. I'm just using the same brush, and I just want a little bit on there just to kind of pack across the middle of my eye. It will just help to lighten up just the centre of this before moving in to the next shade. Now that I'm really happy with that, I'm going to be going in with the next shade, and I'm going to be using shade Watermark, which is kind of a similar shade to Iconic, but it's a little bit lighter and it's also got that sparkly shift in it. For that, I'm just pretty much going over where I just popped down shade Take It Easel, just in this very centre part of my eye. Of course, I want to get it blended into shade Iconic, but leaving this inner corner available for the shimmer. So it's a really quite a bright blue, this one. And I think a nice little transition with that little hint of shimmer into what will be quite a shimmery inner corner of my eye. And you can see there just a nice little sparkle on the centre of my eye. So it's now time to move on to the shimmer on the inner corner. And I'm going to be using this shimmer here. This is called shade Hot Copic, and that is literally just going on this empty part of my eye here. And brush wise, I've just opted to use this flat brush to help with the placement of it. All of this in the inner corner, and of course just blend it across into shade Watermark. What I would say is that if you want to recreate this look but you don't have the Colourpop eyeshadow palette, then you obviously could just use shades you have that are similar from other palettes. So you really just need like a blue shimmer and then a couple different similar toned blue matte shades to create the same effect. So I'm actually really happy with how that's gone just with the brush. I think I'm going to leave it at that because has gone across into Watermark really nicely, and I like that there's still that darker definition on the outer part of my eye. So all that's left eyeshadow wise obviously is just the under part of the eye, and for that I'm going to be going back in first of all with shade Iconic just on the outer part, and then I'm going to be bringing Watermark kind of the rest of the way along. So going back in with shade Iconic first, I'm just using that same angled brush that I used at the start just so I can get a good definition of this shade on just this bottom part of my eye. So I probably want to bring this less than halfway along. I really do just want to keep this on the outer part like so, and then back in with watermark that was just slightly lighter. So now that I've done the actual shadow on this first eye, I'm going to be going in next with a liquid liner, and I thought to keep it on brand I would use this Colourpop liquid liner, and this is in the shade Numero Uno. So it is just one of the felt tip liners. You could use a felt liner, you could use a liquid liner, or if you didn't want to use a liner at all, then obviously you wouldn't have to. There is the liner done. You could obviously do a wing as big or as small as you liked. I just thought this one was quite in keeping with the rest of the look. So for the eyeliner for my waterline, I'm just using a black eyeliner pencil. This one here is just from Primark. And then lastly for this eye, I just need to do my mascara. So I've got this Act Natural Defining Mascara from Colourpop, and this is just a black mascara. So again, you could use any mascara that you wish. You could pop on some false lashes if you wanted to. Equally with the eyeliner in the waterline, you could do any shade you wish. You could do a blue, or you could do nude or something. So it really is entirely up to you how you kind of make this look your own. So there is that first eye done. So what I'll do is once I've done both eyes, I will give you a close-up of both. The next eye, as you would have seen from the intro and the thumbnail, is very different to this one. I thought it would be good to use up all 5 shades. Obviously, there's going to be a bit of overlap because I'm going to use more than 2 shades for this look. But yeah, hope you liked this one, and back in a sec with the second look. So for the second look, I'm starting this one off quite differently. So the first shade I'm going to be using is Take It Easel, which is a really lovely kind of icy pale blue matte shade. And for that shade, I'm just going to be laying it down all over my eye just as a real nice base shade. So as this is a base shade, I wouldn't be too worried about the placement to start off with, because obviously going to be applying some other shades over this. I think this is a really pretty blue though. It's very, I don't know, giving me very icy vibes, but it's also just quite a nice soft pastel. That's what I really like about, I think, this palette in general, is that you've got a real good contrast of some nice soft pastel shades, but also some really, you know, dark and bright mattes and some beautiful shimmers and glitters. So yeah, just get a good base of this down. So there we are with quite a nice light base of shade Take It Easel. But the next shade I'm going in with is shade Watermark, which, if you remember from the first look, is that nice matte blue but with that really gorgeous shimmer shift in it. So just using the same brush, and I'm going to be focusing that kind of on the outer part of my eye and just slightly into my crease, just to add a little bit of depth and dimension to this initial matte shade I've got down. So like so, just on the very outer part of the eye, and just bringing that into the crease just for a bit of depth. I would say this shade definitely start off with less, because it is very pigmented and you still want to keep the look feeling nice and soft, and you don't want it to end up being too dark. I mean, if you do get too much of this shade down, or whichever slightly darker blue you've opted for, if you don't have this palette, then I would just recommend going back over with your lightest shade if you did need to soften it up again. Now I've got that shade down, I'm going to be taking a very small amount of Hot Copic, which was that blue shimmer, and just popping that right on the centre of my eye. You'll understand what I mean when I apply it, but I'm going to be putting the glitter right on the inner part, and just like as a nice transition between the glitter and the matte, I thought it would be quite nice to have a little bit of shimmer going on. So just take a very small amount on the brush and just sweep this over the centre of your eye. And now it's almost time to get the glitter shade down. So I would always recommend, if you're using a pressed glitter or obviously a loose glitter, then laying down a glitter gel first of all, because it will really help to keep the glitter in place. So the one that I use is the Glitter Fixer Gel from Barry M. This is fairly inexpensive, I think it's £3 or £4 or so, and I've just got this flat brush just to help apply the glue. So I always pop just a little bit on the back of my hand so I can always be in control of how much I'm actually putting on my eye. You can see there I've just got a little bit, and I'm just going to pop some onto my brush and then just pop the glue where I want the glitter to go, which I know sounds probably quite self-explanatory, but there we go. So for this, I want the glitter to be all on the inner segment of my eye, so that's where I'm just popping my glue. It takes a few seconds just to become tacky. You don't want it to dry completely, but at the same time you don't want it to be too wet to pop your glitter on. So I'm happy with my glitter glue placement and also the tackiness of it. I'm going to be going in with shade Kaleidoscope, which is just a really gorgeous pressed glitter. It's absolutely stunning. I do love the glitters in this palette. So this one here, and I have opted for this flat brush again, just so I can get the brush loaded up with loads of glitter. So you can see it just on the end of my brush there, and it is as simple as just patting the glitter onto the glitter glue. So you should be able to see just how stunning that glitter actually is. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like a pressed glitter, but personally I can't understand why, because I think they are absolutely gorgeous. So I am happy, or really happy, that that is all covered now, and I can move on to the under part of my eye. So for the under part of this second look, I'm going back in with shade Take It Easel. I'm going to be popping that all the way along the bottom of my eye, and then I'm going to be taking shade Watermark and just popping that just on the very outer part, just so I've got that same like depth and dimension that I've got on my actual eyelid. So I've opted for this fairly small brush, just starting on the inner part of my eye. I'm just going to work this shade all the way along, and then now in with Watermark just on the outer part. So no liquid liner this time, because I definitely do not want to disturb that glitter that I've got going on the top of my eye. But for my eyeliner in my waterline, I'm just using the same black eyeliner pencil from Primark, and then mascara wise I'm just using the same Colourpop Act Natural Defining Mascara. Again, if you wanted to use a different colour eyeliner, you could opt for a blue again, or a white eyeliner, or a nude eyeliner, but I just thought that I'd go for this black one, and then just back in with the mascara. Again, like I said for the first look, if you wanted to use false lashes, you absolutely could, or of course whichever mascara that you own. And there is that done. So lastly, just for my lips, I thought, trying to keep it on brand again, I would use this Colourpop Luxe lip oil, and this one here is in the shade First Date. Of course, for whichever look you recreated, or if you recreated both, you could use any lip gloss, lipstick, liquid lip, in any shade that you, of course, wanted to use. And there are both looks all completed. So I will give you a close-up now so you can see them both in a bit more detail. Definitely let me know which is your favourite look out of this quite striking smoky blue eye and this much lighter, sparkly, glittery, light blue eye. I'm not sure which is my favourite, because I absolutely love that blue glitter, the shade Kaleidoscope on this eye, but I also think I really like the effect of the dark blue smoky eye. So yeah, I think I'm definitely torn between the two, but if you have got a favourite, then definitely let me know. So I have already done some different looks with the orange shades in this palette and also the pink shades in this palette, so another 2 looks for each. So I will leave those linked in the description if you're interested in checking those out as well. And I will be doing looks with the rest of the shades very soon. So I've got the purples left, the greens and the yellows. So if you've got a preference on which shades you'd like me to do next, then let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again in my next video.